Welcome back, friends, family, boys, girls, and goldfishes. My name is Emma G. We are here the day before Thanksgiving. So we're going a day early because, tomorrow we're being grateful and, trying to not eat too much food on our plates, I believe is the rumor. But today I'm really chuffed to be joined by my sister from another mister, the my co-CEO from from the Capital Groove Collective. She's dynamic, she's loud, she's proud, she's gorgeous, she's quiet when she wants to be. I say that because I'm not very good at being quiet. But all the way from Maryland, we have artist, singer-songwriter, artivist, activist, beautiful SOLIA. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. It's been a busy day over here. I started this whole podcast in the lead up to my book, which has
Hmm.
now changed names, and I've done I'm in the middle of a soft release at the moment. So it's been
But
a busy.
does the world know about your book yet?
I mean, they do, but they don't. So I'm like, just kind of warming people up. It's exciting. I'm excited.
She's writing a book, you guys. She's writing a book.
Well, it's written now. It's written. And it's it's a whole thing, but the whole purpose of this book is to talk about the stories behind my songs. So I thought, well, this isn't just about me, this is an energy show, this is about us. That's what the
Right.
Capital Grove Collective is about, that's what I'm about, that's what my mission and vision is about. So I'm thrilled to have you on here to talk about your songs and the message behind one of your tracks, which I believe you have released a lyric video called, and the song's called Let Love Heal. Is that correct?
The song is called if I know what this did I write a
Oh,
song? Who
Life Goes
knows?
On. Life Goes On.
Life goes
Sorry.
on.
So
It's
it's from the Let
from
Love Heal album.
yes, I did an EP back in I want to say this EP was 2014 or 2015, possibly even 2016. Um
What is
that's
time?
like what is time? I don't. What is time? Um in case you didn't know, I my entire brain operates on like song lyrics, so you can say anything and it'll make me think of a song lyric.
Totally.
Yeah, but yeah, I wrote this song, Life Goes On, part of a series of EPs that I was doing at the time that I have yet to do the third part of the whole trilogy. So one of these days I'll get back to that project. It's an
Awesome.
incomplete project as of now, but it was one of
It's
the
a work in
first.
progress. That's all it
It's a
is.
work in progress. And so, yeah, but this song was one of my favorites that I wrote.
Cool, cool. So what was the motivation behind the song?
Um, I was in a place where I felt like I was losing friends left and right.
Hmm.
And I feel like I've always been in a place where I've never had like a solid core group of friends that have followed me through every stage of my life. So
Hmm.
like I fully expect like when I go to another stage of life that okay, I'm gonna get a whole new set of friends. So it's hard for me to really attach to people. But I find that people just like talking to me. They just tell me anything, everything, things they haven't told their mother, things that they haven't told like a significant other, they've told
Yeah.
me. For one reason or another, I just something about my face, maybe.
I mean, it's a
just
gorgeous face.
I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a definitely a gorgeous face, but it's like it definitely causes people to just open up out of the blue. Like complete strangers have told me things. I'm just like, I didn't know. I don't even know your name, but hello. um, but yeah, this song came out of that time where I was just particularly looking for um, realizing this about myself and realizing, everyone tells me all these things
Mm,
and I feel sort of taken advantage of in that way.
okay.
Um, so I wrote a song about um, kind of naivete of it all, of going into relationships, really wanting like to have a secure relationship with someone, just like not like not like a necessarily romantic one, just like even a friendship.
Mm.
And then um you know, realizing that um it's not going to work out, but I know all these secrets now. I'm not the one to like, I've definitely never been one to like tell people secrets at all. Like I'm a vault, but I just realized like, yo, you realize that I know all these things about you. Um,
Oh, damn.
but yeah, no, like I would never use someone's secrets as a weapon against them. That is just not
Mm.
part of my, no, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
right to me. But I just realized it's like, yo, I know half of the people in this room I used to be friends with, half of the people in this room do not talk to me anymore, but I
Right.
know so many secrets from
Mm.
all of these people.
Mm.
But I was also a little sad about it. So, but I also realized like it was a very childlike mentality that I had about friendship. But I was in college and it was like the world was showing me
Mhm.
what the world was actually like. So it was like that journey through all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so looking forward to showing the the audience the song, but I realized that I gave people my opinion of you, but I didn't really give you a chance to to introduce yourself. So before we dig any deeper, do you want to tell people who is Solia?
I am. I'm still figuring that out, and I'm okay with it. Figuring out exactly. I know who I want to be, and that's
Okay.
really what I'm working towards. Is being, being a leader, being thought provoking, being someone, an amazing singer songwriter, an amazing performer. Um, am I all those things right now? Maybe yes, maybe no. But I'm confident that I'm going to get there. And I'm excited about the journey it's going to take to get me there. So,
Mm. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I love your focus. I mean, I think that's been a lot of people's focus this year in particular has been around, focusing on the journey and really leaning into figuring out who the fuck we are. Really,
Because you thought you were something, and then Miss Rona came around and said, nah.
check yourself.
Uh, think again. Try again.
So
And then
true.
you're like, ugh. And I'm like thinking about because Taylor Swift just released a new documentary that I watched part of, but like the
Mhm.
part that I did watch, she was talking about um how she felt after she had to cancel all her shows for 2020 and possibly 2021.
Mhm.
Um and just like what that meant, and how she released her folklore album this year, but like how she felt about it because it was just so different than anything she'd done
Right.
previously, in terms of even how she wrote it, how she recorded it, how it was brought together. So like everything about being a musician during this time has been like redefining, reimagining, and possibly like, you know, trailblazing new ways to be an artist moving forward.
For sure. For sure. No, it's somewhat comforting to know that Taylor Swift is having to do that, and somewhat, and in some ways, really, really not comforting at all.
Right? Like
But
knowing that some of like the world's biggest stars are also having to figure out like how do we keep doing what we do.
seriously, seriously. So one of the things that I noticed, that I know that you've been doing this year, as you're figuring things out and adjusting, is really leaning into your creative, and you released a single this year. You've been writing a whole bunch of new material. I want to know, what is your songwriting process?
My songwriting process depends on the day. Some days
I'm the
it
same.
really does. It
Yeah.
depends on the day, depends on whatever mood I'm in. But generally, I'm writing on guitar,
Mhm.
and I'm writing to a melody that I'm like making up as I go. Um, but sometimes I write to bass. I've written a couple
Oh,
songs to, not that I play bass, I just like pluck out a bass line on my MIDI keyboard, and then write to that. Sometimes I write to piano. I have a couple songs that I've written and released that are featured on piano. Um, but yeah, that
mhm.
has been, it's mostly music or a line or a chord progression that is, oh, this sounds pretty,
Yeah,
that I'll just take it and run with it. Most of the time, like lyrics come from, I have like a running folder in my phone of just like poetry and potential song lyrics that I keep. And anytime I think of something, I'll jot it down. And
yeah.
so a lot of Last Pity Party came out of like, or I'll do a free writing session in like a journal. So
Mhm,
like I'll just sit for 10 minutes and just write whatever comes off the top of my head, like a what's it called, stream of consciousness.
mhm.
And Last Pity Party was actually birthed out of a stream of consciousness that I turned into a song. So,
Oh,
and
wow.
then this particular song was birthed out of a particular line, um, as a, I know them, all your secrets. And I created this whole world with that song lyric. So,
That's awesome. I love it. I love the diversity in the way that we approach music. It's like,
yeah.
how do you write a song? I don't know. We just write it.
We just write.
Yeah.
There, the one thing I love about songwriting is there are no rules. And if anyone tries to tell you that there are rules, they're lying to you because they've made rules for themselves
Yeah.
and now expect you to adhere to them. No. You can write a song however you want. You can rhyme whatever word you want together. You can say a word as many times as you want to. It's your song,
Yeah. Yeah.
as long as it feels good to you.
I often tell my songwriting clients, like, these are the guidelines, these are the rules. And I'm telling you the rules so you can break the
Exactly.
rules.
Exactly. The
You're like,
only good
oh,
thing
what?
rules are for is to like know how to properly break them. Like,
Right. The only real thing I think about songwriting is, how raw and real are you going to be? How are you going to
yeah,
be at the end of it?
yeah.
Cool. So what, speaking of getting raw and real, what was the biggest breakthrough for you when you wrote this piece?
Realizing how naive I was,
Okay.
and realizing how childlike I was. Like up until that point when I wrote the song, I didn't realize that about myself,
Right.
and um how much of a childlike mentality I had and how much people saw that in me. Um because, and like in some ways I still feel like I'm 16, um even
Wow.
though I like in my mind sometimes I'm still like, oh yeah, no, you're just 16 years old. But other times I realize, no, girl, you a whole grown woman, you need to step up. um but yeah, I think the biggest breakthrough with this song was realizing um how I was perceived by other people. I've always been acutely aware of how I was perceived by other people, and something about this song really made me address and analyze that.
Yeah, no, I feel that. It's I often wonder, like, how much credit we need to give to those opinions though. But because you're somebody who, it's almost like you acknowledge how people perceive you. Excuse me. And yet on the other hand, he's like, well, cool, this is me. Like it or lump it. Like, I am
Yeah,
Solia.
right, right. Like I definitely, there was a time when I used to take a little bit too much stock in what other people thought of me. But
Right.
I'm also at this point where it's like I still am, like I said, I'm acutely aware of how people perceive me, how I'm perceived being an African American woman, being a child of immigrants, being a plus size big girl. I know what people think when they see me, but I don't let that define how I choose to move and operate and take up space, or use my voice, or choose not to use my voice,
Mm.
because it's me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm happy with me. So,
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Um, have you received any feedback from friends or fans around Life Goes On?
Not particularly. I used to perform the song a lot when I was in college, and
Mm.
people love it. Um, because they like the words. Like, as and Joey's also told me this. Our friend Joey, he's told me that he likes the imagery that I create with my songwriting. And this song, that was my favorite part too, was the whole, like, the metaphors and the world that I created with the words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so people have told me that they like that part, but other than that, no. Because I actually, when you asked me to be part of this with you, um, I had to, like, dig into my vault. I was like, okay, let's go find a song that I haven't looked at in, like, however many years. Let's find a song that I haven't really thought about in a while. And this one jumped out at me.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, right, I forget. And, like, I listened to it because I was just playing through my discography, because
Yeah.
I can play through my discography on, I like how that blows my mind still, that I can, like, go into Apple Music and look myself up and
I
play
mean,
through my own songs. Like, how awesome is that?
it's
Um,
incredible.
but, like, I was just listening to this one in particular. I was like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
do love this song. And I was just, like, taking myself back, and yeah.
Yeah. It's you're talking about the imagery and the metaphors and things. I really like. There's a verse. Was it all just a game? A little cat and mouse to satisfy your hunger, a magic trick to leave me in awe and wonder. A friend, or so I thought. Do you remember me? Like that is so
Yeah.
painful yet so beautiful.
Right? I'm a songwriter, yo.
I was like, yes, yes. Say it
um,
again, louder for the people in back.
all right. Like, I think that particular line, cat and mouse, I always thought of, I was thinking of Tom and Jerry,
Okay.
and how Tom is, like, always trying to eat Jerry.
Right.
And, like, once in a while he'll catch, like, Jerry will get caught, and, like, Tom will be somewhat satiated in his hunger to, like, pursue him. But, like, Jerry slips away, and, like, they're at it again. But
Mm,
it's also like it's it's hard to describe. Like, that was the particular image that I had when I wrote that line. But a magic trick, like, because again, the whole song is about childlike innocence in a way, and,
mm,
like, how enthralled are kids with, like, the simplest magic tricks, you know? So, like, I was like, yeah, sometimes you can, like, do a simple sleight of hand, and, like, the kids are just like, wow,
yeah.
amazed. And that's kind of how I, like, jumped into um, friendships, was thinking, like, this person said hello to me. I was like, wow, someone said hello to me. Like, someone saw me. Like, someone thought I was someone that was worth saying hello to. So that lets you know a little bit about where my self-esteem was at the time.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm laughing because it's like knowing you as the woman that you are now.
Hmm.
I'm just like, part of me is just like, really? Like, how could you possibly? But on the other hand, I'm like, dude, that was me.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's a
we've all
lot
been
of people.
there.
It's a
Yeah.
lot, as particularly as women of color, I think,
Mm,
because so much of who we are is, like, broken down from an early age,
right.
for the sake of obedience, for the sake of keeping things easy and pleasant, and
Yeah.
not shaking or rocking the boat. And I'm definitely someone, like, I get told stories of myself as a younger child, and I remember myself as a younger child, and I was definitely one to rock the boat. But, like, somewhere along the way, I learned how to not rock the boat, and it was a lot of, like, quieting myself, and, like, just, holding myself back. And so, um, it's definitely taught to us.
Mm,
It's not
mm,
something that we're born with, and
mm,
so recognizing that. in that learning, I learned how to be almost forever childlike. Um, was something interesting that I learned through this song. And then, of course, the journey towards unlearning and using your voice and being who you are and not being afraid to be like, write the songs and say what you need to say. Like, this was one of the first songs that I wrote where I actually said what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
it's powerful.
I know you. I know all your secrets. How dare you, almost.
Right. It's powerful. I mean, so my next question was going to be, what makes this your life-changing song? But I feel like
yeah, that's what it was. It was the first
Yeah.
time that I really just sat down and like looked at myself through the eyes of somebody else, but also looked at myself through my inner self.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like not just me looking at me, but like my inner self, my true inner self, like that was kind of stuck and like looking out, being like, what are you doing to us?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that the simple, like the power that songwriting gives us to be able to, and it sounds so surface level, but to get raw and real with yourself, to look at yourself naked, like your naked soul, and be like, okay, this is who I am. I'm going to dig deeper and go even further into who I am. And by the end of this process, I'm going to love myself again. And doesn't matter how, like, whatever what you think, but this is about me. It's amazing how powerful that tool, like the tool of songwriting, can be for that.
Right.
Was there a specific, like, was it when you wrote the song, was that how that happened for you, or was it when you're performing it? When was that moment?
I think it was probably, I usually have my epiphanies during songwriting about like halfway through. My epiphanies are usually what help me get to the end of the song, because they help me decide like, okay, this is what I need to say. I have a lot of half-written songs because they're songs that started out good, but I'm just like, okay, but what am I trying to say? How do I get to the end? But this song, about halfway through writing, I was like, oh yeah, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about friendship. I need to talk about, being that person and like allowing myself to be that person that, is a dumping ground and is like, girl, what are you doing?
I love it. I love it. Hey, thank you. Let's have a listen to this song. I'm super pumped for everyone to hear it and revel in the magic that is Solia. Do you have any last sort of things you want to say about the song before we come back?
No, that's it. Just enjoy it.
Okie dokie. One moment while I figure out how this sound engineering goes.
You got it, girl.
Here we are with Let Love Heal. But sorry, Life Goes On from the Let Love Heal album from Solia.
Here we go, headstrong and confident, but we're going nowhere fast. No expectations, no regrets, no second guessing ourselves. And in this violent calm you face reality head on, forced to come to terms with all your secrets. I know them. Oh, your secrets. I held them for you. All your secrets. Remember me when you can't hold on. changes. Running with the thought that hearts don't change. No, foolishly thinking that hearts don't break. But you'll remember me when you can't hold on. Was it all just a game? A little cat and mouse to satisfy your hunger? A magic trick to leave me in awe and wonder, my friend, or so I thought. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Can you hear the sound? Can you hear the sound? The sound of my heart breaking, the sound of thoughts dying, the sound of secrets falling. Can you catch them and hold on to them like I did when I held them for you? I know you are secret. I held them for you. Remember me as life goes on.
So beautiful. Thank you. How do you feel?
I forgot I was on mute. I'm just smiling because I'm just like, I remember that was like when I was first learning how to do sound recording, and I'm
Right.
listening to like all of my mistakes,
Learning curves.
my
Yeah.
learning curves.
Yes.
But like I definitely think that yeah, I miss that song.
Yeah.
I miss that song. And I'm definitely like, so one of my big projects that I'm going to be working on for the next year is to like re-record a bunch of this stuff because I know more now in terms of recording, and to redo that song. And I'm like listening and I'm just like, but I also hear so many things that I was like, that was so good. Like, I can't believe that I figured out how to do that. And like that little effect right there. And like, just, I was listening to particularly to like a guitar line that I had going in the background. And I was like, I did that. Like memories.
Like, go me. Go me.
Go me.
That's awesome. And I think it's, you know, it's one of the superpowers that you definitely have the patience to do the technical stuff. You know, to work into the to work out the nitty-gritty details that I just don't have the patience for personally. But
I love
you
a
know,
good puzzle.
I mean, I don't.
No, you don't.
Nope. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your song. And if you're watching this and you want to learn more about the magic that is Solia, you can check her out. I am Solia on all social media, as well as, of course, the website iamsolia.com, which is awesome because branding is everything. And of course, if you're interested in learning more about the Capital Groove Collective, you can do so by heading to capitalgroovecollective.com, of which Solia is head CEO, and I am the founder, I guess. And
I guess.
It is
the
my love
founder.
child, my love child from 2018. And if you're interested in coaching or anything like that, the Capital Groove Collective has a variety of resources. I obviously do the Empowerment Through Music program, and I have a book that is coming out very soon. So hit me up, emagmusic.com. Keep in touch with Solia, please, and have an amazing weekend, guys. Be safe, be kind to each other, spread love like it's going out of fashion, and please don't forget to
Call your mom.
Sure.
Call your mom. Or whoever you feel like. It doesn't have to be your mom.
Whoever you're thankful for. Let's be
yeah.
Okay, guys, have an amazing weekend.